My name is Elena, and today we're going to be tapping on the crippling effects of social anxiety in order to regain control of your well-being and your life. In the next few minutes, I'll walk you through a practice to move you from that overactive mind space in your head where you might tend to overthink and overanalyze everything, which impacts your ability to be present, and instead become grounded in your physical body and connect from within your heart where all your power exists and your wise mind can be accessed. Tapping provides you with the skill to regulate your nervous system and stop the fight or flight response that happens instantly when your mind jumps to all those negative thoughts. Then you can regain a sense of inner safety. To start things off, focus for a moment on the feelings that arise when you remember or imagine being outside of your comfort zone. It might have been having to make a phone call, or eating in public, or having to visit one-on-one, or maybe it was in a group setting and feeling like all eyes were on you. Sense into your body and notice where the discomfort shows itself when you think about the panic that takes over. Where is the tension or pain or pressure in your body when you question your self-confidence? Notice what part of your body is holding that fear. So on a scale from 0 to 10, rate the emotions or the physical discomfort that shows up because of this social anxiety, 10 being the highest level of discomfort and fear. Taking full responsibility for your own well-being, tapping on the karate chop point on the side of your hand just underneath your baby finger. Repeat after me. Even though so often I feel scared whenever I need to deal with others, I give myself permission to notice the fear and accept how I feel. And even though dealing with others makes me so anxious, I am ready to move this anxious feeling and all of this fear out of my body. Now we'll tap around the points while you sense into the feelings that come up as you're tapping, and quietly reflect on what's going on in your busy mind. Notice the thoughts that cause you to suffer from social anxiety. Start by tapping on the eyebrow, which is the point right where your eyebrow starts. You can do it with one hand or two hands, doesn't matter. And just notice while you're tapping what comes up. On the side of the eye, on the bone, just sense into any memories or how uncomfortable you felt in those immobilizing social interactions. Does it feel like self-consciousness on steroids? Notice that overwhelming feeling, the emotional quicksand. Then under the eye, on the bone, do you fixate on wondering if people are constantly judging you? Notice how you avoid as much as you can, or how you endure it with intense distress. It's above the chin on this indent. Is it possible that you might be your own worst critic? Do you believe all those inner judgments and self-deprecating thoughts? How often are you pointing out your misperceived flaws to yourself and continually mistreating yourself in your mind? On the collarbone, you can do it on either side or just with one hand. Pay attention to how your body is showing you how this anxiety is hijacking your well-being and highly impairing your quality of life. So tapping now on the inside of your wrist, right by your hand. Just breathe lots of love in and an even longer exhale. What thoughts are coming up? What are you noticing? We're creating a space for you to pay attention to what your inner truth wants you to hear. So now repeat what I say with each tapping point. Back to the eyebrow. I just want to feel normal and enjoy being out in the world. On the side of the eye, there were so many times that made me want to crawl under a rock. Under the eye, what is it that I'm afraid of? On the chin, I never feel like I'm good enough or smart enough in front of others. Collarbone, I feel so insecure and am so caught up in the anticipation of rejection. On the eyebrow, this constantly leaves me exhausted and overwhelmed. Side of the eye, it's actually really hard work being this unhappy. Under the eye, and this social awkwardness is stopping me from fully living my life. On the chin, I want that to change. Maybe I'm actually starting to change that right now. On the wrist, breathe lots of love in and an even longer exhale. Now tapping on the collarbone, try this in your mind. Just close your eyes and look at an image of you at a time when you were absorbed by all those anxious thoughts and feelings because of a certain social situation. And now freeze that image and hit the pause button in your mind. When you look at yourself in that image, what is your facial expression like? What is your body posture? Pay attention to all of those feelings attached to that image of you. And suspend that image of yourself for a moment and place it in an imaginary bubble right beside you. And now open your eyes and take a breath as we continue to tap on the eyebrow. I deserve to treat myself better. Side of the eye. I am worthy of being comfortable in my own skin. Under the eye. I am worthy of feeling comfortable with others. Above the chin. I've been holding myself back from stepping through this fear. On the collarbone. I choose to start this transformation from within. The eyebrow, it starts by loving myself first. Side of the eye, teaching others how to accept and love me. Under the eye, I can free myself from the claws of my inner critic. Above the chin, this misguided protection has been keeping me paralyzed. Collarbone. I'm letting go of that part of me that felt safer by staying stuck. I'm feeling that intense discomfort for the last time. On the wrist point, breathe lots of love in and a long exhale. On the eyebrow, it's safe to be me. Side of the eye, it's safe to express myself without others needing to approve of me or to agree with me. It's safe to be me even if someone else might judge me. Above the chin, I'm probably way harder on myself than anyone else will ever be. Collarbone. I'm no longer choosing to listen to my inner critic. Eyebrow. I consciously shift my attention to what is within my control. Side of the eye. I move forward with inspired action. Under the eye. What's the worst that could happen to me if I embrace my true self? Above the chin. I'm changing the narrative in my mind. Collarbone. It's time for me to put myself ahead of this old inner fear. And on the wrist, breathing lots of love in and an even longer exhale. You know, it's kind of like a car. We can't move forward if our foot is on the brake. And when we realize that if we take our attention off the anxiety and purposely focus on what we'd prefer, we can then start moving forward. Give yourself permission to imagine what a preferred experience might feel like. Now start tapping again and think of a time when you felt super confident or satisfied or even really happy. If your mind just won't let you go there, maybe just think of the relief of walking into the comfort of your own home, or sinking into your favorite chair or your comfy bed. Just take a moment to recognize how good that feels. Anchor in that comfort at a cellular level. Close your eyes, and while you're tapping on your collarbone, just take a snapshot of you feeling all this warmth and goodness in that scenario. And then freeze this new image of you. Then go back to that earlier image of you in that bubble that you suspended beside you. And within your imagination, just take a pin and pop it. Keep your eyes closed and immediately turn your attention back to the new image of yourself. This new image of you in that reality of that good feeling space. What does your expression look like in this image? How has your body posture improved? Notice the comforting feelings within you, and let's anchor this new expanded version of you into place while tapping on the eyebrow point. Open your eyes and repeat after me. I'm ready to find out who I really am. It's time for me to embrace this new version of myself. Side of the eye. I am supported by divine energy, the same energy that created me. Under the eye. I was created to operate from my highest nature. On the chin. I can express myself freely, and I feel safe in the comfort of being the real me. Collarbone. I am treating myself with the same kindness and compassion that I have for other people, because I deserve that from myself. Now on the wrist point, breathe lots of love in and a long exhale. So take a moment again to re-rate your fear. Has that fear gone down? What are you noticing? What new thoughts and feelings are coming forward? When you interrupt the fight or flight response, you gain access to the wisdom within you that you can only reach from the vantage point of your true self. This process creates a space for you to listen to your wise mind. If you found this video helpful, and if you know of someone who might also benefit from it, please feel free to share it with them. You can repeat this tapping process as often as necessary until you bring that fear down to a zero. You got this. Thanks for watching, and continue to be true to yourself.